Hi, welcome to Briones Pickleball. My name is Jordan Briones, and in today's video, we are going to talk about the #1 skill that never gets practiced. You're not going to want to miss this. Now, let's jump right in. All right, so what skill are we talking about? Yes, it's the return. You guessed it right. I don't know if you ever go out there and practice your returns, but I am telling you, the return is the most important skill that I think players really drop the ball, and because they have weak returns or short returns, it really sets them up for failure. In this video, we are going to talk about 5 very important tips that is going to transform your return game. So stay tuned, and now let's get to the first one. All right, so tip #1 on a good quality return, it is about depth and height. It is not about pace. Remember, our goal after our return is to return that ball and get up to that non-volley zone line so that we can be dominant up there. If our returns are short, maybe if we hit it too fast, it's going to be really hard for us to establish ourselves in a strong position up at the non-volley zone. All right, so right there is what I see a lot of. I see players hitting really hard ground stroke topspin returns, but they're getting caught in transition. So what we want to do instead is we want to hit something more like a slice, which is slower, or a lob. Remember, we want to get that ball deep, but we also want some hang time on our shot. The higher we can get it, the more time we have to get to that non-volley zone. All right, so as you saw right there, that's a much better return. Has some loft. Remember, hang time gives us time. I had good depth on the ball, and I can get up to the non-volley zone, establish my feet, and get ready for the volley. All right, so now we're gonna hop into tip #2, and that is give yourself some room. Remember, we are talking about returning against big servers or servers that hit with a lot of pace and a lot of spin. If you are standing right up at the baseline, you are going to have to hit your returns backing up, falling back, or you're going to have to hit it right off the bounce, which is very difficult. So remember, against good servers with a lot of pace, make sure that you are way back behind that baseline. You'll see this in pro levels and higher levels of play. Players will be 6 to 8 feet, sometimes even more, off the line, so that they can actually have their momentum coming in, hit their return, and they can use their momentum coming in to get to that non-volley zone. Giving yourself that extra room and extra time for that ball to bounce, slow down, and then you can use your momentum coming in because you're not taking it right off the bounce. That's going to help you out tremendously. All right, so now let's hop into tip #3 to hit great quality returns, and that is to shade over so that you can hit your returns on your preferred side. Now, each person is going to have a little bit better return on one side. Some players really prefer their slice backhand, for instance, and some players really prefer their forehand. So what you can do is that you can shade over to get more of those kinds of returns. So in a regular formation here, if Katrina's serving over there, I'm going to be set up just like this. This is actually really good positioning. Now, if I want to get more backhands, then I will slide a little bit to my right. Okay, so now any balls that are kind of coming towards this area, I could just take as my backhand here. And then any balls that are really close to the center line, I'm for sure taking as a backhand. You can do the same thing with your forehand if you prefer your forehand side. Instead of standing over there, you can stand a little bit over. Now for sure, I am going to get a lot more forehands than I would normally get as opposed to if I was standing right here. The one thing that you do have to watch out for is if they are picking up on this, if you shade too far over, that angle can be exposed if they are very accurate with their serves. Like if I'm standing right here, they can serve down the tee really hard, and then they have me running and stretching here. And if I'm standing here, they can serve that corner and have me into the curtains over there. So We really want to be cautious about this, but again, you could just shade over a little bit to access more of your preferred side. So now we're going to show you a few clips of those. All right, so those were just two examples of me, shading a little bit to one side or the other so I can access more shots or returns on that particular side. All right, so now we're gonna hop into tip number 4, and that is plan ahead on body serves. So what do I mean by body serves? Okay, in the game of pickleball, you are going to be getting multiple spins and different kinds of serves, sometimes short, sometimes long, but in general, you're going to get balls closer to the center line. Okay, in this case, because I'm on the even side here, it would be to my backhand. Or you're going to get balls closer to the sideline, which will pull me out here, and I'll have to take it as my forehand. Or you will get more of a body serve, something that is coming straight towards you. Okay, so this is something I've been really working on in my return game, and if you, in advance, decide and pick what you're gonna do when you receive that body serve so that when it's coming to you, you don't have to react, then you'll have a better outcome every time. So what do I mean by that? When you are getting a serve hit kind of right here, this is a really nice deep serve, it's to the body, okay? It's coming straight in here. If I don't move my body out the way, I have to hit it like this, or I have to kind of hit it like this. And sometimes we're forced into hitting the ball like that. But what is better, let's say I'm deciding early, if the ball is coming straight to my body, straight to here, I'm gonna move a little bit to my right so that I can hit a slice and have my momentum moving in with my backhand. That's one thing you can do. Or let's say you have a really good forehand return here and you're getting this body serve, and as soon as you see it coming towards your body, I could slide to my left a little bit, create the adequate space that I need to hit a nice clean return out in front, and I have good spacing, so I'm not hitting it like this or like this. Remember, deciding early on these body serves is really going to help. Now we're going to show you a couple clips here. All right, so now let's hop into tip number 5. And I think this is a really, really crucial one. This 5th tip is to decide your return target early. Now I know this may seem very, very simple, but again, remember, we're trying to cut off decision making, or at least last minute decision making. So what do I mean by this? If I decide where my targets are early, then I don't have to think about when that return is coming. Oh, where should I hit that ball? Should I hit it towards the middle of the court? Should I go more cross court? Or should I go down the line? And just for more advanced levels too, I don't just decide exactly where my target is, but it depends really what kind of serve or what wing I'm gonna hit it off of. So for me, it's a lot easier for me on my backhand, so it could be different for you. But when I get a serve right here towards the center line to my backhand, it's easier for me on my backhand to go down the line. Okay, it's a little bit tougher for me to go cross court from this position. So as a player, know what is easier, what you hit at a higher percentage, and go with that. So I'm deciding early, okay, if I get one over here, I know that I'm gonna hit that down the line return. Now, for my forehand, I really like going more middle or cross court on this particular side, on the even side. So I'm deciding early. I have this shot here. If it goes here, I'm gonna go down the line with my backhand. And if it goes wide or somewhere out here, where am I gonna go? Towards the middle or more cross court. So there's no indecision or last minute decisions on my part. This is going to really help you cut down on return errors and give you a more confident return. All right, so that concludes the 5 return tips. Remember, the return is something that is so important. It sets the tone for the rest of the point. So make sure you go out there, practice your returns. I couldn't tell you enough how important returns are. Get out there on the court, go with a partner, and practice those returns. And until then, we'll see you in the next video. For exclusive pickleball content from me, check out BrionesPickleball.com. For awesome pickleball paddles like this one, make sure to check the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.